My name is Lee, and alongside my podcast co-host Lewis, we attended CES 2023. CES is the most influential tech event in the world, and we saw some mind-blowing tech. We also were able to get some exclusive interviews, where we break down what the future looks like.
Thank you, Marco, for having us. It's nice.
Pleasure.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
awesome. I mean, like, what can you say about? I mean, it's already impressive.
Yeah,
it
maybe
speaks for
first
itself.
you should enjoy here.
Yeah,
So
I know.
take a second.
I need to take a few seconds, honestly,
Yeah.
because it really is such an impressive design.
Yeah.
You see here the UI UX interface now coming. So there's also use case Orlando, Lake Nona, and Hamburg covered on the interface here.
Absolutely. So let's talk about the initial design here, because something that's very beautiful about this spot specifically is that it's almost like a hybrid between a bus, a car, a subway, and everything all in one, but with the futuristic aspect of it. So maybe talk a little bit more about the design of this thing.
Yeah, so our aim was clear to give an offer which is exactly not existing in the market, and maybe so it's not easy to compare. So this autonomous mover has a capacity of 15 passengers, they're of 10 seated, and you see it here. And especially the, I would say, potentially small size is an advantage, because if you have transportation in a very tight urban situation, you don't need the big bus anymore. And so you open up a lot of use cases by this smaller size. The other point is we see a clear need in the municipalities or on the private sector for smaller vehicles because they want to achieve higher service or service density in the city, which means instead of having one big bus at a bit higher price, you can offer 3 movers of the size at the same price and get, I would say, more service because you have another sequence.
Yeah.
You can jump on, jump off.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
This really resembles, I think, mobility, right? It's not, like I said, not a subway, not a car, not a van, not a bus, but it's meant to move people. You called it a mover. Is that correct?
That's the normal definition. It's a people mover in that case. But you named it already. It's not only that we offer here a kind of a vehicle, of course it is, but it is part of the new mobility. And it is an enabler to offer new mobility services. You need the car. And we combine in our ecosystem all stakeholders of this process, which is the vehicle itself. It's the autonomous system from Mobileye, and it's the operational side, for example, with our partner Beep. Not exclusively, but in general. So putting all these parties together, you get a turnkey ready solution to drive on the scene. And this is why this is a part of the mobility, and therefore you need a vehicle in the end.
And how much does something like this cost?
Developing this vehicle, we had a clear focus on the total cost of ownership because it's about the ticketing, the mileage, etc. So the cost per mileage per passenger. So what we see is, and we developed this clearly with the design to cost on a total cost of ownership, which is feasible or commercially feasible in the public transportation area. So, and it will be, I would say, it will be a rule-breaking pricing, which is definitely below the bottom line of existing movers today.
Oh, wow.
And how do you think that's going to impact your market penetration? I think it was 2025 that you guys are planning to take this to market. How do you see this being received? Who do you see received? What markets will be buying in first? Do you think Europe, North America?
So we really have an awesome feedback from the market globally, actually. There is so high need of these movers, and we are not talking about a handful of 100 movers globally. We're talking about of thousands of movers. And we have already sold 500 movers, and we see actually a demand in the first year of more than 2,000 movers on short notice, and more to come.
That's very impressive. This design, I feel like, could really easily become a little bit longer, right? So you could take the same design approach, the powertrain, and you can maybe accommodate 30 or so. Is there a future of other products in your lineup?
Yes, of course. This is not the first and only car, so it's the first car. And as you said, we are able to scale the wheelbase, and we will go also next mover will be, I would call, an XL version, which will be then up to 22 passengers capacity, and we're also thinking about a cargo version.
Do you have another one? Or?
I was going to say, let's talk about the self-driving aspect
Yeah.
of it. So you said there's 500 already out in market right now,
Yeah.
like doing their thing. How do we see the self-driving aspect? What are the challenges of taking it in your existing markets now and then translating it else to other markets?
I think we are, in the past we know a lot of pilots of autonomous driving, and I think the time for pilots is gone. It's now getting into serious. And we see from the municipalities, from the private compounds, from the campuses, that the need is there and the requests are there. I think, and also the regulatory side really improved and is willing to confirm a certification or homologation on level 4. So everything is prepared, and I think we are facing a tipping point in the next 2 to 3 years about autonomous driving in transportation. Maybe not in private car, but in public transportation.
Yeah.
And also on a mixed route. Not only on a, I would say, a fixed route, also on a mixed route, which supports then the on-demand transportation. This is important.
Cool.
You're leaning on two things: regulatory environments as well as Mobileye's partnership and their ability to create safe for not just inside but people outside the vehicle and that autonomous driving capability. What's your confidence in both those two things opening up and allowing Holon to succeed?
I think with Mobileye we have an excellent partner with one of the leading autonomous driving systems in the market. And that's why we have chosen Mobileye. And what shall I say? It's, for me, one of the superior systems, and if you have the chance to drive it, you should do. It's a really good system. It's safe. But of course, we're talking today about level 4. We're not talking about level 5. But level 5 will not happen without level 4, we are sure. We are very convinced to have the right partner, and it's the best system. And I think the sensitivity of the topic will, I would say, further be reduced with having more vehicles. For the time being, it's quite unusual to drive autonomous, but that's how the human is, yeah. And if he gets more familiar with the topic more and more, we will take it as usual. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I got one more question. Do you have any more?
No, I'm good. Yeah.
2023 is the year of blank.
What do you mean with blank?
You fill in the gaps. 2023 is the year of...
Is the year of the debut of the vehicle, and it's, I would say, the kickoff for a new area in public transportation.
Very cool. Thank you so much, man, for your time.
Yeah, thank you,
Really
Marco.
appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Appreciate you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.